Welcome to the second presentation on cybersecurity tips, where I talk about unusual tips and tricks that you may not have thought about. Today, I will cover mobile devices. The usual advice you get from cybersecurity professionals may include always lock your mobile devices, use biometric security such as fingerprint lock, always keep your device software up to date, do not share your devices with untrusted parties, and back up your files often. So, these are some of the basic advice you may get from cybersecurity professionals when it comes to the point securing your mobile device. I'm not going to focus on these items. I'm going to add to these items so that you can be more secure when using your mobile devices. Your cell phones basically have lots of data. Usually cell phones contains actually more personal data, more sensitive data than even a laptop. So you need to make sure that when you are using a cell phone, you enable hardware encryption whenever available. So not all cell phones can support hardware encryption, at least not to the full extent, but there are several options that you have that you can use. Sometimes those are third party software encryptions, or you could use built in software and hardware encryption, such as Samsung Secure Folder. So, if you have anything sensitive in your cell phone, I highly recommend, if you are an Android Samsung user, you put that sensitive information in Samsung Secure Folder. It is an encrypted area in the Samsung devices that allow you to put your data in a secure place away from the rest of the data on your phone. On your iOS devices, you can use to make sure that you have a strong password, a complex password, so that it is not easy for someone to get into your iOS device. Same goes for your Samsung phones as well. Same goes for your other Android devices as well. Better to use complex password than actually to use biometric unlock features. So remember, on my previous slide, I mentioned that a lot of cybersecurity professionals recommend that you use biometric unlock such as fingerprint and face unlock. But the unusual tip that I can give you is that do not use biometric unlock whenever you don't have to. The reason for being, despite the fact that the biometric unlock is very secure because it requires a fingerprint or a facial ID, something like that, to unlock your device, you may be forced to unlock your device by either law enforcement or some bad guys because it is right there available to them. For example, let's say you have a iPhone or you have a Samsung phone, and if I can pressure you or compel you to use your fingerprint or your face unlock to unlock your device, unlock your phone, even just holding the phone right into your face while you are trying to look away, unlocking your phone, that would pose a security risk. So to me, I don't believe biometrics unlock methods are actually secure. Instead, I believe having a complex password is more secure, because while you can be forced to give out your password for your device, it is highly unlikely, especially law enforcement authorities may physically harm you or hurt you to get your password from you. But it is more likely that they will maybe force you or compel you to put your fingerprint to unlock your device. So therefore, I believe using biometric unlock should be done with caution, because you may be compelled. Let's say you are walking down the street, even forget about law enforcement, you are walking down the street, somebody come up to you and say, give me your cell phone, and you give their cell phone and say, unlock this phone, and you say no, and they could be, oh, give me your hand, and then they can actually use your fingerprint, force you to unlock the device. So that's why. So for basically, because it is easy to convince someone or force someone to use biometric unlock to unlock the device, I don't believe it's a good method of locking the phone. Instead, using a complex password would be a better method. Another one is the app locks. You can use app locks in many different uh, iOS and Android programs. So most apps, such as most messaging apps, such as the WhatsApp, have app lock built into it. So you can use both in iOS as well as in Android devices, where you can lock down specific applications that you may not want other people to access. Best example I can give you is if you have MS Teams or WhatsApp that you use for communicating sensitive information with your work or your spouse or etc., you can lock that specific application but not the entire phone, so that you may hand over your phone to someone else for whatever reasons, but they won't be able to get into those specific applications that you lock. Another one that a lot of people sometimes forget is registering your security apps when you get a new phone. So when you have an Android phone, whether it's Samsung or something else, whether you have an iPhone with iOS, make sure that you log into accounts such as iCloud, Google account, etc., etc. Of course, there are some dangers with having cloud connected things in your device, cloud connected security platforms such as iCloud and Google account, as well as Samsung Secure, for example. However, the benefits usually outweigh the pitfalls. I will talk about cloud connected devices and cloud connected issues, like the issues with using online software, like the cloud connected programs, services, etc., in my next presentation. But generally speaking, when it's come to the point, tracking your device and securing your device when you lose that device, or when you have a problem with that device, wiping that device, it is utmost important that when you get a new device, or when if you still haven't registered your current device, you register for those accounts. So with iOS devices, it would be iCloud, and you will be able to track your iOS device using the iCloud. You would be able to wipe it, you would be able to lock it down remotely, etc. Same with the Samsung account. Same with the Samsung account as well as the Google accounts. You can log in and register for those applications, and those security applications will make sure that your device will remain secure even if you lose that device, even if you physically lose that device. Another thing is that I would not recommend plugging in your device to random ports. So let's say you are going on vacation and you forgot to bring your cell phone charger. Don't go around and just plug it in anywhere to charge, even if it is a wall mounted charging USB port. The problem with USB ports, even if they are wall mounted and it appears to be a part of a electrical outlet, that USB port on the wall may be hiding something else behind it, because that USB port can be connected to anything behind the wall. Certainly don't plug it into random ports of other people's equipment, but even if it is a wall mounted plug with the USB port on it, I would not trust enough to plug my device onto that to charge it, especially if you unlock your cell phone while plugged into a USB port. That may be installing malware through that corrupted port, that can export your personal data, passwords, even install spy software for long-term data gathering by bad guys. So do not plug in your cell phones or any mobile devices, even iPad or a tablet, to random ports when you are traveling. Also, the next one is do not share your personal information on the lock screen. This is another common mistake that a lot of people do. I would not recommend you putting stickers on your mobile device, that electronic stickers. I will talk about physical stickers as well, that gives information such as your full name, your address, etc. For lost and found information, use your home phone number, office phone number. If you want to display lost and found, display a message for lost and found on your lock screen of your cell phone, I do that too. Just put, if you find this phone, please call your home phone number or something. Don't put your name, don't put your address, don't put any specific identifiable information on your lock screen. I don't even recommend putting your family pictures or your picture, such as you and your wife's picture, or you and your wife and your children's picture, on your lock screen image, because that could lead to a huge privacy issue if you lose your phone and the bad guy get hold of that device. Another thing regarding stickers, there are two types of stickers. There's electronic stickers, which I mentioned with the lock screen, but how about physical stickers? I see in some people, not only with cell phones but also laptops, which I'm going to talk about next, they put stickers outside the device, like physical stickers with their name, address, email address, phone number, etc. That's a huge privacy and security risk. Imagine you are leaving your cell phone on the table at a restaurant. Anybody who walk past that cell phone, if they can read that sticker, they have a lot of information about you. So that's why you should not put that such information on your device. If you are worried about losing your cell phone, first of all, make sure you are registered and log into those security apps so you can track your phone through iCloud account or a Google account, etc, etc. Or the other option is to just put a phone number saying, if somebody found this device, please call that number. Don't give any more information, not even your name. So next thing I'm going to talk about is your laptops, how to secure them. I always enable BitLocker on my Windows laptops. If you have Apple devices, you can use File Vault, which is similar to BitLocker. However, BitLocker is more secure than File Vault. If you have an Apple device like iMac, or MacBook Pro, there's no way that you can use BitLocker, so you have to use the File Vault. When it's come to my laptops, it is very important that also you save that recovery file for the BitLocker or File Vault in a different location. You do not want to save it on the same location or same device as the encrypted device itself. As far as I know, that it is extremely hard even for law enforcement authorities with a lot of resources to get into BitLocker encrypted hard drives. So it is very important that you put BitLocker on your laptop, because bad guys won't be able to get in there. And when you are choosing your BitLocker or File Vault password, make sure it is complex enough that is harder for people to guess, because if you just put a very simple, easy to guess BitLocker password, there's no point putting BitLocker at the first place. Another thing is, do not save any sensitive data on your laptop unless you have to. If you have to save those sensitive information, such as maybe your copy of your birth certificate, immigration papers, etc., at least use BitLocker and File Vault on it. Always keep it on you and with you. Do not let your laptop get away from your site. Make sure you always keep it with you, because physical security cannot beat anything else. No matter what you do with in terms of software and BitLocker and everything, physical security should be number one. Finally, do not let any untrusted people plug in any device to your laptop. It could be as simple as somebody asking you, hey, can I quickly charge my cell phone using your laptop battery? The answer should be no, because tell them, like, you have some sensitive data, I can't let anybody access your device. When it's come to your USB drives or external hard drives, always enable some form of hardware or software encryption. Now, not all USB devices, especially USB cheap thumb drives that you can buy off the shelf, most of those do not have any hardware encryption. That's fine. If you are a Windows user, you can BitLocker encrypt that particular USB device, no problem. It will still provide a really good data security using software encryption than not having any encryption at all. However, for critical sensitive documents, you should always use hardware encryption. So hardware encryptions looks like this. So it will have a keypad in here, for example, and you need to have a hardware, you have to decrypt, unlock the key before using and accessing data or saving data. So there are external hard drives, there are external USB drives that comes with hardware encryption. They are a bit expensive. For example, for 128 gigabyte of this type of USB stick, probably gonna run you down close to $150. But however, if you have super sensitive data, this is a good option. Never leave the device unlocked and decrypted. So doesn't matter whether it's a software encryption such as a USB drive with a BitLocker or whether it's a hardware encryption. Please do not leave your device unlocked and decrypted, because it defeats the purpose. If you just leave it out in the open, then the next guy who's sitting there on that shared laptop or a computer may have access to all your information. Finally, something that a lot of people don't think about is that never label your USB drives or external devices. So I would never put my name, for example, Manuja Senanayake, on a USB stick, because they can Google my name and find who I am and may be able to guess even the encryption passwords. So never put any labels on your USB drives or external hard drives. If you really want to keep track of your USB drives, external hard drives, you may be able to use some kind of a code, for example, AA, AB, AC, or 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. But other than that, don't put even labels like family pictures, because that gives some extra information for the bad guys to work with. Then you have to also think about your other mobile devices and what kind of information those mobile devices may contain. This is something a lot of people forget. This is an unusual tips that I can give you. An example of other mobile devices that a lot of people don't think about is unlocked smartwatches with connected lock smartphones. So typically both Apple iWatch and Apple Watch and the Samsung watches have a sensor. When it is not on you and cannot detect your pulse or blood flow, for example, like the pulse on your arm, it locked itself. But let's say you have your watch on you and you fell asleep. Sometimes even the smartest watches don't even detect you are sleepy. So in that situation, maybe if one of your friends can access your smartwatch, and from your smartwatch can access your phone's data. So that could cause a privacy and security breach. So think about that when you're using smart devices, smartwatches. Another thing is portable GPS devices with travel history, home location, or other places that you have visited that you may have pinned. So it's not just travel history where you travel, but maybe you have a bunch of favorites that you put it on that include your home, that include your office, that include your children's school, your wife's office, etc., etc. So with all that information, if your GPS device is unlocked and you leave it in a hotel room, now if a bad guy get hold of that information, well, they can do a lot of damage to your family. If at least it will be a privacy breach. Even if it is doesn't get into the hands of the bad guys, it will be a privacy breach if the hotel manager or staff just went through your portable GPS and look at the location. So make sure if there are locks that you can put it in, like a software password locks, put them on your GPS devices, and your portable GPS devices should always be secure, and make sure that you don't leave them behind. Another thing is the digital and electronic medical devices. There could be blood pressure monitoring devices, sometimes have GPS locations in there too. So you need to be careful with data in there as well. And finally, another thing that a lot of people don't think about is drones with previously recorded footage, location history, etc. So when you're handling those items, you need to be careful as well. One of the cautions that I want to give for travelers, international travelers especially, is that international law allow border and immigration officials to confiscate electronic devices, compel you to provide passwords to unlock and search content within your devices without a court order. So what does that mean is basically that if you are traveling in and out of Canada or like anywhere in the world, the international law basically gives power to border security people and immigration officials to force you or compel you to give them access to electronic devices. In fact, if you refused, your visa can be denied and you may be deported or asked to leave the country. Your electronic device even may be confiscated. Even if you agree to cancel your visa and come back, they may keep your laptop or cell phone, etc. So this is one of the things that a lot of people don't know about, and this may lead to a lot of legal issues and privacy and security breaches. And what is legal in one country may not be illegal in another country. So I'm not talking about that you're doing anything illegal. You may have like very sensitive office documents on your laptop and cell phone. You may have, let's say, if you're a same-sex couple and you have pictures of you two kissing each other, hugging each other, that is 100% legal in Canada, but maybe illegal in some countries, such as maybe certain religious countries. They may look at your cell phone and go like, oh, well, I'm gonna put you in jail or something, So that's the problem here. The problem is like, even if you are a heterosexual couple, you may have videos showing affection. That is not remotely illegal in Canada. That may be considered as illegal in another country. So as a Canadian, I always think about, is everything in my phone and my laptop when I'm traveling is legal everywhere? I don't know. I can't check everybody's law, right? But back of my mind, I always make sure that I don't have that is something questionable. How about pictures and videos using marijuana? Marijuana is completely legal in Canada. It is illegal even in the United States. So if you have marijuana use videos and pictures, etc., even receipts containing you're buying marijuana from legally purchase marijuana, like you're going to a store, that pictures, those videos may be cause a problem at the border, even if you're going to the United States. Even any document that has to do with political or legal activism, you're going to another country and you have some political or legal activism item in your cell phone. Maybe you went to a protest for women's rights in University of Alberta, and you have videos and pictures of that. Then you go to another country and the United States probably doesn't like the fact that you protested for women's rights, and now that could land you in trouble. So there are no privacy legal protection even in Canada when crossing the border. So forget about even traveling to other countries. You are coming back into our country, Canada. You technically have some holes in your charter rights. Believe this or not. Because Canadian Border Services have the right to confiscate your electronic devices if they have reasonable doubt that you are concealing something illegal within your electronic devices. So without a court order, they can seize your cell phone, your laptop, because you are refusing to unlock it because you have some kind of a sensitive information contained within them. Likewise, I said it could be something intimate between you and your spouse, but still you have to unlock the device and show them what they are, even if it is 100% legal in Canada, even if you are returning back to Canada, crossing the border through Canada Border Services. They have every single right to request you to unlock your device. Now, how can you, how can you mitigate this problem? I would use a sanitized cell phone when traveling outside the country. So if you are going out of Canada or coming back into Canada, or whenever you are traveling anywhere in the world, I would highly recommend that you do not use your daily driver. You do not use your commonly use your cell phone. Instead, I recommend that you carry a different sanitized, either brand new or old used cell phone whenever you are traveling. Not only it gives you a peace of mind that border security and immigration officials can look into your device and there's nothing intimate, nothing questionable on that phone. I'm not asking you to break the law or anything like that here. I'm saying something intimate, like, maybe you and your wife, have some pictures that are very intimate that you don't want the border security people to see. Well, it's not going to be there because you have a completely sanitized separate cell phone when you are moving in and out of Canada. So it gives that peace of mind when you're crossing the border. And also, if your device get lost or result in theft, like if your device get, somebody steal your device, you don't have to worry about somebody somehow accessing your information, even if it is encrypted, even if it is locked. You don't have to worry about back of your mind that they might get access to some information that you don't want them to have. And also you had to think about environmental factors. You go to a highly humid country like Sri Lanka, for example, where Sri Lankan weather may break your cell phone. So do you really want to carry your daily driver? Probably not. I recommend that you carry a separate sanitized cell phone with nothing on it, and you don't care if it breaks while you're traveling outside the country. So again, for caution for travelers, I would highly recommend that you do not carry your regular daily driver cell phone when you are traveling for tourism reason. The only time you should carry your daily driver is you're actually emigrating out of Canada, or you're completely moving to another country, because then you need to have your data and everything with you. The key take home message is displayed here. You can pause it and read it if you like. And that's everything for today. Please thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, have a nice day.